Hey guys, what's happening? It's Doug Depte here. Right now we're going to talk about the 1% rule. 1% rule. This is my quick rule of thumb that I use to evaluate a property to see if it makes sense from the jump, right? As soon as I look at a property, I want to make sure that I'm going to be in a nice cash flowing position. So I use this 1% rule, and this is how it works. Let's say, for instance, we have a property and the price is going to be $100,000. Right? So purchase price, $100,000. So just by looking at this purchase price, I want to say, okay, what rents do I need in order to make this price make sense? So we're going to times this by 1%, right? 1%. And what do we get? This is going to equal $1,000, right? $1,000. So this is the monthly rent needs to be in order for this to make sense. $1,000 a month in rent, in order for a purchase price of $100,000 to make sense, right? So let's say, for instance, if the rent comes in at $500 for this property, this does not pass the 1% rule because it's simply way below that $1,000 mark. So we would not move forward if the property is bringing in $500 of rental funds, right? And that's revenue, rental revenue, right? However, let's say, for instance, we're in a situation and this property is bringing in $1,500 per month. All we need is at minimum $1,000 a month coming in. So that's an extra $500. So this is a sweet spot, right? We're probably closer to the 1.5% rule, which is a great situation to be in. So we're going to use this quick rule of thumb to evaluate properties immediately to see if it makes sense to pursue from a cash flow standpoint. So let's say, for instance, we have a property that's $200,000. We multiply that by 1%, right? That means the rent coming in needs to be at least $2,000 per month. And you might be asking, well, how do we know what the rent is for this particular zip code? Some things we can use are rentometer.com. With rentometer.com, we're simply going to go ahead and put in the address, put in a number of bedrooms, and it'll spit out where the rent is going to come in at for that particular area. So we're going to use rentometer.com. We're going to be very conservative. We could be right in the median because we can use rentometer.com. Another source is we can check with our local housing authority, right? So we're checking in with the local housing authority. We're going to see, what a 2-bedroom goes for, a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom. So we can use that as our rent numbers, right? And then there's also a government site where you can check the fair housing market value, right? Fair housing market. So you check the rents, and then you run that 1% rule by it, and then, it's either going to be a check or it's going to be an X. And that's how you use the 1% rule to do a quick rule of thumb to see if you want to move forward with purchasing a property.